Right, so let's just put them into a parade ground uh, format. Makes it easier to figure out. Um, one problem for player two is that I have to deploy well hidden because player one can actually see your units if you deploy too far forward. Like, so where is the actual start line here? Let's have a look. Since this be the first opportunity, we actually tell where it is. Holy shit, that is very far. Um, my infantry could actually deploy very, very far forward. I can actually deploy infantry in defensive positions here already. Okay. Dangerous though. Um, Simply because you're visible. Um, so yeah, this is the thing. You can't really make definite plans, and when you get to this point, you may find that well, no, your 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 vague plans just don't work. Um, for the experienced player, it doesn't matter that much because they probably have seen it all, played it all, and you know, nothing faces them anymore. Like in a generated battle. Um, but for the newbie, it's really quite intimidating. So I mean, I started checking to see which side I'm starting on because one time, well, was in the second points battle, I thought I was starting on one side because I hadn't checked. I just assumed, and assume made an ass out of me. So ass out of you and me. um, and yeah, I started on a different side. So I made a plan, and it was completely hopeless. And I tried to, I really should have replanned at that point, but I didn't. Tried to adapt the plan, and it didn't work that well. It was actually a better battle than the like more recent ones. I don't know how that worked out. I have a suspicion that my opponent was holding back in the first 2 points battles, but he's going all out now, and that's why I'm struggling. Okay, so we're gonna parade ground along here, I guess. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with the commander, company commander. Um, okay, the first platoon. This is just a convenient way to spread the forces out because the game just throws them on the map basically. And in fact, it runs out of room and then it wraps it back. So it's very hard to tell where anything is. This way, it's just a bit more convenient. LNG. Yeah, this is the support. One thing I need to decide is that I'm going to separate the mortars. Um, I might not. Um, in the first battle, I mean, I've only played. This is only the actual 5th points battle I've played so far. So, really, I don't know anything. I know nothing. I have to keep reminding myself I don't know nothing. But it's kind of depressing when you realize just how little you know each time. It is. I mean, it's really quite a lot of. Um, it's very humbling, to realize that yeah, you really do suck at this. So, okay, I put them a little too close here, so this is gonna be awkward. We'll do this, because otherwise it'll run into those. So now the scouts, these are 4-man scouts, um, and more 4-man scouts, and some 2-man scouts. These 2-man scouts will probably operate with the 2nd infantry unit. The second the detached infantry platoon. Um, we'll see. I have no idea how this is going to work. Probably really badly. I mean, I've never after the first two points battles, I kind of had a little bit of thought. Oh yeah, I can do this. Um, no, Skyle is a long way to go before I can confidently say, yeah, I know how to play this. Um, it's just so much. It's just so much to learn. Okay, so and then the mortar, oops, there, and the for observer there, and um, this is a second infantry, the separate infantry platoon. Okay, another heavy machine gun. Um, hmm. The tanks. One of the things though is when you do this parade grounded like this, makes you realize how small your force is. I mean, they look like a lot of units when they were scattered along the edge of the map. There, it's like, oh yeah, that's not bad, but no, it actually isn't that much. Because I mean, only the formations matter. The actual you never use like individual squads separately in the game, so that's the thing. You know, you always move as a formation. Um, so now, first thing we're gonna do is set ranges. I'm gonna do that first, I think. Um, and give me a chance to go through some of them. Gonna turn for the A0 unit. We're gonna turn these weapons off. I'm gonna set his range to 1 because I've found that 0 doesn't always work. It sometimes resets them back. So I'm gonna test that theory. Um, there's some place in the game where it doesn't like having the ranges set to 0 during deployment. So I've had ranges of 0 suddenly change back to the maximum, which is kind of annoying. So I'm gonna set them to 1 and then fix them in the first turn. So I have to go through each one anyway. Um, Company HQ is also going to have his weapons turned off. The reason I'm turning weapons off is the HQ units are only there to rally other units. They're not there to fight. Um, when if they were to fight, then they would be a chance of them being suppressed. And when an HQ unit is suppressed, it is not capable of rallying its subordinate units. So this is an approach I'm taking. Um, the HQ units like the 0 units, the A0 unit, the B0 unit, E0, etc., etc. The lead unit for each formation is actually not a standard unit. Um, it's not a common unit, put it that way. Um, so if you're playing with rarity on, there's a good probability you will not get like the Zephyrs for the platoons. Um, so then you have lead unit, and so it's far worse. I mean, playing with rarity on is actually harder because you get fewer units. The platoons are smaller because they don't get formation leaders. So taking advantage of the fact that you're getting a formation leader, and it costs you points. It's not free, um, but taking advantage of that is not intended to be a fighting unit. I mean, it has weapons that if in the pinch, you could turn them on, and if it needs to defend itself in a difficult situation, but that's not what it's there for. Okay, so we're gonna turn the weapons off, set range to 1, because 0 seems to be a bit of a problem. Okay, so this is another 0 unit, so we're gonna turn all of these weapons off and set range to 1. doesn't mean I need to do this again, but it's okay, I guess. So we do not the regular squads units off, weapons off, except if they specialize weapons. In this case, there isn't anything specialized, so we'll leave it on, and we're going to set range to 3. Seems to be work quite well for infantry. Uh, and that's, I mean, I'm doing that on the advice of people who are more experienced than me, and I have to say I think it seems to work. Um, Now, in this case here, they have a tank mine. The heavy infantry actually have tank mines, so we're going to turn those off because they're heat weapons, so they can be used against infantry as well, but that would be a waste. So we're going to turn those off and set range to 3. Same thing here. Oops, wrong way. Turn the tank mine off and range to 3. Tank mine off, range 3. Okay, the Zofira weapons are off, range to 1. Okay, we'll leave everything on. The hand grenades, they only HE weapons, so none of these none of these are specialized weapons. So we'll just leave it. Range to 3. Turn the tank mine off and range to 3. Tank mine is off, range to 3. Tank mine off and range to 3. Okay, next leader unit, all weapons off and range to 1. I'd like to make that 0, but it doesn't seem to hold. There seems to be circumstances where it gets reset, so. And range to 3 for him. All these weapons are on. Okay, range. Oops, yeah. Tank mine off, range to 3. Tank mine off, range to 3. Tank mine off, range to 3. Oops, did I? What's that? Range 3, yeah. Okay. Okay, so support platoon. I gotta decide whether I'm gonna keep the mortars with this platoon. It really hasn't. If I keep the company together, then it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how it's done. The reason I was splitting them off was because I was basically splitting up the company, and that's not a very effective thing to do. Because you need to have some reserves, right? And so far I've been playing with no reserve. I paid a heavy price for that in the previous battle because there was nothing to defend the rear areas, and I'm not, I wasn't really covering the front line very well at all either. So you need to have something that can, be used elsewhere. Um, I still don't. I mean, my current purchase, I don't think is really doing it. But we'll see how it goes. It's so difficult to build confidence. So difficult to build confidence in this game. Um, it's a vertical cliff. I mean, after the first 2 points battles, I thought, okay, it's not too bad. Eh, not really. So I don't know what happened. I really don't. Okay, so for the LMG, yeah, actually not gonna have them fire their rifles and hand grenades normally. I'm gonna set range to 3 because the LMG is quite short range. It's only 16. Um, Basically, that's. I mean, I could set it to. I'm setting it to about 25%. Um, so it could actually be 4. But there's no. I don't see any point in doing that. Um, because I mean, they're a small squad, right? If they attract attention to themselves before they can be effective, then they get taken out very easily. So that's my thinking on that. I treat them like very weak infantry in terms of when they should be firing. They just don't have. I mean, they just don't have that kind of robustness of that you would need to have them to allow them to fire at a longer range through opportunity fire. Um, and they're not really that close to the other infantry anyway. These guys are there mainly there to support the anti-tank and the mortars um, when necessary. So um, now where are we? Yeah, well, let's continue that. Let's shoot another LMG. Let's get through these. Set the range to 3. Next one, light mortar. We'll turn their rifles off. They shouldn't be using those. And we'll set their range to 1. 27 rounds. Fucking hell. The normal load for these is 50. Sometimes the game really messes with you. So we're playing, well, one of the realism settings is reduced ammo because it was also very, very rare for like uh, any formation to go into battle with exactly the amount of ammo they're supposed to have. So the game kind of randomly reduces it. I've read it's not entirely random. There's actually there are some nations actually have uh, where that changes. Like Japan gets less and less through the war. If you're playing with reduced ammo, they generally they do fairly well in the beginning of it, and then later on in the war, their ammo starts to be reduced. So there's an algorithm involved. Um, I suspect it also has to do. There's also month and year and so on, and it probably affects every single nation. Depends on who you're fighting. So it gives the game an idea of where it is and circumstances. But it would require a lot of code though. So I don't know if they went that far. Okay, next. Maximum range to fire at 1 because it'll change it. Okay, so next light mortar. Turn that off. Set range to 1. And okay, now this one has almost a full load. Wow. Yeah, it's actually not worthwhile splitting them up then because one platoon's only gonna get a mortar that has almost nothing, has almost no ammo. So what I might do though is I might give one of the more light mortars to the detached platoon. Maybe something to consider. This one only has 31, so yeah. Range of 1, and turn the rifle off. Okay, Panzerjägers. We'll turn submachine guns off. We'll leave in this case, we'll leave the specialized weapon on, because it can't be used for anything else except against tanks. But we're gonna set the range to 1. You're not gonna be able to fire anything longer than that anyway. Now, actually, one possibility because of the nature of the map, one idea is to actually put the Panzerjägers, attach the Panzerjägers to the infantry. I don't know. Otherwise, they can't really operate on their own. Well, they can, but if they get suppressed, then there's nobody to rally them, right? I mean, this is the reason to actually keep them, to split them up and give them different formation leaders. It's just to get more chances of rallying them. Like if you send like this Panzerjäger for its own and it takes a hit, then it has to self-rally, and if it fails that, then it's basically stuck, and there's no opportunity. If it's too far away from its actual formation leader, then there's no chance for it's going to recover that turn. So you have to wait a whole turn before you could maybe use it again. Okay, so range of 1. Turn that off, and range 1. And the last one, range 1. Okay, so that's now the scouts were, I'm actually turning the scouts' weapons off and setting range to 1. I'd like to set them to 0, but again, I have an issue with that. So I'm not going to take the chance. I'm going to have to reset these again anyway, so now I have to reconsider this. Thing is, if I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like that. Because they won't, unfortunately, the way that, with it set up that way, they will not be able to opportunity fire at all. So, I think you have to have at least one weapon on in order to opportunity fire. Yeah, obviously you have to have at least one weapon on. So if a tank comes close to them, they wouldn't use. If the tank comes within 1 hex, they wouldn't use the tank mine because they can't opportunity fire. So, well, we'll see. I mean, that's probably something that should be modified as the situation demands it. So we'll turn everything off for now for the initial recon. Okay. Oh, no, range 1. Next. Whoa. Oops. So we ended up on that side. Okay, sniper will also not be. Will actually will not be used as a sniper. It will be as recon. So they're actually the best recon in the game, because they're one-man units and they they can they're pretty stealthy. They are very difficult to spot. So, but they also die very easily. So you gotta be careful with them. Um, okay, so set range to 0. That's not gonna work. 1, because I'm guessing it'll be reset. Um, whoops, what'll happen here? Oh yeah, I just generated a glitch in the game. uh, whoops. Oh, it's the chat. That's why. I was wondering what that was. It's not a glitch. It's just the chat bar showed up, and so it's not playing online. I don't know why it's still active. Um, MG Lafette troop. Okay, so don't know if the other things. And his range will be set to 6. His range will be set to 6 as well. Okay, mortars. For the first time, I'm only using 2 mortar tubes. This is going to be tricky. Not used to that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's worthwhile. I really don't know if it's worthwhile. We'll see. There was no way to get tanks and the mortars. It's just not happening with 1,000 points. So now, I mean, I've reduced the amount of mortars I'm taking. So if it still works out, then I mean, if it's still effective, then we're good. So I mean, I know it would actually indicate that I could possibly get away with doing not buying a full company, maybe. I don't. I think the math still works out, though. I mean, to buy the whole company, um, simply because you have to buy the extra stuff anyway. Points are points. You don't really save that much. You're only saving because you get a Zofir with every single, with the exception of the light mortars and the so everything that's in the support you would eliminate the Zofir for that support. With all the other platoons you buy would automatically get the Zofirs, and you would save points on the company commander. But that's rally points that you're not going to get during the battle. So is it worth it? Who knows? Don't have the experience to be able to tell. I know the theory, but that's about it. As the saying goes, the difference between practice and theory. Yeah, it's very large. So these mortars are not well equipped. They only have 34 rounds. We're not blasting away with them. This is one advantage of having a second mortar section, is that you have some more artillery available. So I'm actually going to be quite low on artillery here. This is not may not be a good thing. So for observer team, we turn it weapon off. His range is 1. Okay, no, his range is 1. Yeah. Next. Okay, another Zufir, so turn these weapons off. Range to 1. I gotta reset these ranges again later on when we actually start the battle, because I want these to be 0, not 1. I have to remember to look at that. So for the Schützen, we'll leave that on. They're the light infantry, so range of 3. Uh, tank mines off, range of 3. Tank mines off, range of 3. Tank mines off, range of 3. Okay, LMG, no, heavy MG, and range to 6. Okay, turn the bow machine gun off. This allows the tank to be facing in a different direction than the turret is pointing when it fires. If you leave that on, then the tank will turn to try and fire the bow machine gun, even if it doesn't. It actually has a very low probability of firing. It's being fired by the driver, so these might be doing something else. Range 40, no. Penetration in millimeters. This is hard to. This is penetration in millimeters, uh, based on distance. So, 10 looks about okay. May actually be able to set it further for this tank. Let's go with 10. That's about 25%. So, I mean, that's probably as low as I'd probably want to go. It looks like we could actually maybe go to 15 because we still have, or even 20, because we still have a pretty decent penetration at 20 hexes. It's a pretty good gun. And the 34 millimeters is quite, still quite high. Most of the tanks, in fact, this tank itself can be penetrated from the front at, I mean, it's only got at 10, 20 hexes, so it 238s, two 30, 38Ts firing at each other at the front armor, and they actually hit. There's a chance they can actually get a penetrating hit at 20 hexes because they only have 28 millimeters of armor. So it may actually be a good thing to turn them to make that longer. Hmm. That would require a really lucky shot, though. I mean, 20 hex range, to actually get a hit, because maybe that's you only get the penetration after you get the hit, right? So, well, yeah, let's set it to 10 for now and see how that works out. Turn up the bow machine gun, set range to 10. Scouts, turn off their weapons, set range to 0. Because these two-man scouts, if they start firing at anything, they basically dead after that. So it's best for them to just keep hidden. Well, I have a lot of them riding on the tanks, but they're there just to provide spotting for the tanks when the tanks aren't moving. Because right now I'm not going to have any infantry close by. Um, there's no mobile infantry to support the tanks, so it's going to be awkward. The tanks really can't do that much. here. I don't know. I've taken them, but I'm still doubting myself on that. But what the heck? It's done. It's done. Um, couldn't really see another option though. That's the problem. Um, I mean, the anti-tank guns and off-tracks are just as pricey. Um, they're not counting as armor or artillery. So you could actually get more. You potentially have buy more than 800. More than the points that are available. I don't know. The thing is, I can't see how to trim the amount of points that are being spent down at 1,000 points to something that works, right? Um, just not there. Just don't have the experience to understand it yet. It's very, very frustrating, to be honest. Oops. No, let's set that to 1. Turn those off. Range to 1. This is the last one, I think. Yep, that's the last one. So let's go into the headquarters unit, see what we got here. Range-wise, everybody set to 1. This one should be 1. So I think I'm pretty sure it'll get reset. Okay, these are wrong as well. And quick fix for them. Okay, that's it. So now deploying. Okay, so A0 unit. I think we'll probably deploy back here. Let's see. What is this? Height 15, height 20, but then we can't actually see. Tempted to actually deploy the A0 unit on this side, but that's kind of putting him out in the open. There's really no reason for the A0 unit to be very far in the front. Probably a good idea to keep him close to the artillery and the forward observer, but the problem is I don't see a position where he could actually see anything because my best height position here is actually no, it's covered in trees. So if I put him in there, he actually doesn't get any line of sight at all. But maybe it doesn't matter. Another possibility is actually deploy him back here. Now comes the second problem. Deployment. Yay. Wow. It's tricky. But well, I'm gonna leave him there for now. I don't see any reason to move him around. Probably put the mortars behind him. They should be able to hit. The mortars have a range of 56. So as long as they're more than, so this is X90. This is 90. This needs to be further forward. That's not going to be far enough forward. They probably need to be over here. Or over here. Yeah, it's a possibility. 73. So that would put them, give them all the way, a range all the way to like 20. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, even year is fine. I mean, that puts them, because this position would give 88. That would give them X30. So actually, it's more like 90 there. So being like X40. Um, yeah. Okay, so look, I'm not going to deploy those yet. So infantry first, I think. Well, let's see if we can actually, how much we can actually deploy in here. I don't know. It's not obvious yet. Um, yeah, we'll start with the assumption we can deploy there, 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 and there. Yeah, okay, so it's looking like I can actually start the infantry platoons quite far forward. Now, they have to be deployed far enough back so that they can't be seen, right? Yeah, so that's probably just a little bit too far forward. It's going to be slow movement up here, though. Let's check to see that that is actually hidden. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to put the scouts in front of them. Yeah, well, they need to be spread out a bit more. What is this up here? So they actually need to go a little further back, I think. Well, the scouts could start here. Don't really want to start them too far back because otherwise they have to move through the swamp. I mean, the goal is to actually advance to, out in the open. I'm looking for where we could actually move. Um, yeah, we don't have any height. We don't have any, what's the name, once we get out of the trees. Um, yeah, so his armor will be up here in turn 2. If he follows the pattern when he's playing as player 1, there's no place for me to actually, like, there's nothing here. Now the infantry out in the open are not, if they're not moving very fast, they're actually not that bad. It's it's actually not that easy to kill them. If they're like 4 tanks would not be able to kill an entire company of rifle. they'd be able to seriously hurt them. They'd build each turn they'd be able to hit several squads, and they'd be able to keep them pretty suppressed, which is not good. But to destroy them would take a bit more time. Um, Now, if his infantry is really close behind, that's gonna work. That works for him. But if his infantry is really far behind, the only reason he's suppressing my infantry is so that he can escape, so that they don't get too close. Because you don't want to have your tanks operate separately. Now, here's an area that we cannot deploy in, simply because it's out in the open, and unless it is anyway, getting too much into details. It's too early for that. So I think it looks like there's enough room to deploy the entire company. Well, 2 platoons in the front. Um, um, so here. I don't want to get the platoons too far apart, because that's a mistake I've been making quite a lot. So we'll do that for now. So they're hidden for now. Okay. So next platoon is at the back somewhere. I can't really move through here. Okay, he's deployed on height. Okay, wait a minute. There's enough trees around. I think it blocks line of sight. I hope. No, it doesn't. See, this is the problem in the game, right? You really gotta be careful. Now, it's fine as long as there's no line of sight into enemy territory. We should be right, but I probably will want to move them out of there. Anyway, that's sort of what we're doing. Oops. Next platoon is probably going to start back here. Well, we may have to rearrange these, I think. So the support platoon. Actually, I'm thinking these ones should probably be the side. Okay, height 15. I'm not sure if they're actually in cover here. Damn it. Well, he is for sure. Height 15, height 20. Yeah, they're behind the height 20 area. Might shuffle them over that way a bit. So the support will be on this side, I think. Haven't decided whether I'm going to separate them out yet in any way. Motors. Okay. Right, so company commander goes probably a year. Keep him close to keep him in the center of the company. Now the scouts are up in front. Like that. I gotta check if they can be seen from there. There. I think that's a bad position. Oops. I can't be seen from that side of the. It's probably a height 1 year or something. Trying to figure out why it's not extending past that. Yeah, it's a height 1 year. Um, hmm. No, not happy with that. Let's move them back here. I think that puts him behind the trees. That puts him. Yeah, trees are blocking line of sight there, so that should work. I need to check each of these ones to make sure they actually are covered by the trees. Yeah, I already checked that one, so we have to move them someplace else. Well, fine-tuning required. So next, these scouts are actually with the other platoon. Now, I think I could actually deploy this platoon in place. Risky though. Because they'd be in line of sight, right? Yeah. Well, let's just test it. If I put them on the slope, it's height 10 slope. What? There's no such thing as a height 10 slope. What the fuck? The game's messing with me again. I did not know there was such a thing as a height 10 slope. So if I put them on the height 5 slope, oh, it must be because there's a stream in here. Whoa, actually, wrong one. Yeah, see, so if I do that, we're actually plainly visible all the way across. Well, not actually all the way. Almost, though. So it's risky. Because, I mean, during deployment, he may be able to see me. Let's just look out this way. There's nothing there. I mean, the line of sight does not go all the way back to his, all the way back to the his start line, so we're safe. Now, you may expect me to be in this position though, and then actually deploy artillery there. So that's never happened, but I think the main reason for that is that neither of us have had really a lot of artillery. So it might still work. Now, if I put him on the height 10, I put him on the height 15 slope. Let's see. How does that change it? I would actually probably put him on the height 10. Might consider it. I mean, I've done that before. As long as he can't see me when he deploys, that's fine. I don't. And I've done this. I've done that kind of thing before. Deployed that far out. Um, I don't know exactly where I'd position them. Maybe, yeah. Anyway. Anyway. So that one and next unit is there. We'll deploy them like that for now. It's not how I'm gonna actually. So they'll just be in that area. Actually, I forgot. So these scouts are with them. Oops. So we'll put them close by for now. It won't be exactly where they are. These guys are not advancing. Seems like I don't know. Seems risky, but we'll try and sort it out. Try and convince myself that the risk is okay. Now, this recon is with the main unit, I think. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. I mean, this is actually a good position for a sniper. To start with, anyway. So let's... Or, there's actually another position up here. Let's try him up here. No, have to be further this way. Actually, it's quite restricted. This side this side is probably better. That's on the height 20. Okay, visibility is 25. He's at 67. Okay, that is actually so. Yes, but he's actually further back, right? Because of the start line is not straight. Um, so actually, the start line is actually double the distance. It looks like. 'Cause that is 25. I mean, he's at 76. That is maximum visibility 45. Um, no, that's 12. So that's half the distance. Why can't we see? Because there's height 1 here. Okay, but that actually gives him a pretty good line of sight, I think. I don't think it's going to get any better. Um, it's just too damn obvious, though. That's the problem. One thing I've come to realize, I play very obvious strategies. I'm not very. I think I only surprised my opponent one time so far in the 5 points battles. In the design scenarios, I did not surprise him at all, as far as I can tell. Um, so this is a pretty obvious deployment. But I think it makes sense. They need to be spread out though, because we're just a little bit too close. Thing is here, like we can't actually see them from like the height 10. Can I see over that? Yeah, they can. That's actually pretty good. The thing is, once they get really close though, no, we have clear line of sight all the way across there, so I think that works out. Okay, so next is this one. It goes with on this side. He's going to support the advance from here. I wonder if the game intentionally puts these height 1 areas in there. So where is he? That's at 71, so that is at 47. So that's 13 X's. Um, hmm. There must be another height 1 here somewhere. Why are we not able to see past that? I don't get it. Well, that's all you can see, so it's not visible. Um, so what I might do is I have these guys move up this direction to try and get into year. So, advancing across here is just not going to work really. It's just so there has to be a way to make finesse this, I think. Not who am I kidding? I mean, it's not like I'm gonna really uh, figure it out. So, anyway, as you can see here, I mean, this is how small the battle group is, right? You know, this is an entire company hidden on this side of the map. This is the one platoon to guard the south side of the map. The middle is kind of open. Um, we'll see. Well, that'll probably be the tank that's doing some sort of a job there, I guess. I don't know. Assuming I don't lose it in the first couple of turns. So we have the mortars. I'm thinking probably back here. But they could go here as well. I mean, that we could go really close. We could go, or we could go here. But I'm thinking it's probably sufficient back here. We're 90, so that's they have a range of 56, a range of 50. So that'll put them into 40 range. They should be able to hit Vortex 40, which is about there. Yeah, we're covering that area fairly well. More useful, more important that we can hit closer, like in between here. Yeah, I think that'd be all right. And if it's not, they can move. I mean, they're just very slow. They can move 4 X's per turn. Yeah. But of course, in that time, they can't move. They can't fire. So, I'm actually going to put the mortars. I keep them in there. I think that puts them 2, 3. Actually, I just need to keep the platoon leader. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so I got the A's area a little further back this time than I did the last time, because there's really no need for him to be out in the open. He doesn't do anything. The A's area unit is the most valuable unit on the map. He really should be further back. I've been deploying him further and further forward. It's not a good idea. Okay, next we have 4 observer. This is also a good position for him, but it's getting a little crowded up here, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna move these around. I'm not happy with that. Okay, we have a second machine gun, which is on this side. Heavy MG section. We'll just move them over there. Tanks will leave over here for now. I have no idea. No idea. I actually have a feeling I might. Deploying them here probably makes the most sense because they can move. Well, we'll see. Let's just try. See what their line of sight is. So for example, they moved onto the road. What can they actually see? Not a whole lot. They'd actually have to be much further up to be useful. What about from back here? Like, for example, if they come up above there, no, not terribly useful. Okay, I have no idea. Well, we won't actually deploy them anywhere yet. Let's clean up a bit. Yes, I don't know. Did I misspend my points again? I mean, I need the anti-tank capability, but really, it just seems like I end up with nothing. I don't have much of a force to work with here. Okay, so yeah. Now I'm thinking about it. I probably should gonna regret having spent the having bought those. Now, actually, it seems like I can actually deploy there. Yeah, you still can't see all the way across. I don't know why that is. 39. Well, okay, that's being blocked, so it actually is okay. Um, let's just scroll way over. Yeah, so you can't actually see me from there, unless, well, there's nothing to indicate he can see me from a high ground. So I can actually deploy there if I want. But I won't. I'm not going to do that. Let's just put him behind the tree. Um, let's set it up like that. Scouts spread out a bit. Let's see if what he can. Yeah. Yeah, that's good enough. I think we can actually deploy further forward here because there's enough trees in front of us. But that's it. Yeah. Okay. Now, actually, I'm going to have these guys move this way, so we probably should deploy further to this side, maybe. looks safe. No, actually, we're not going to do that. We're actually going to advance to the front here. Move the scouts up to here, and then I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's better to. Where do I have them here? I have them there, I think. There, and there. He almost is almost visible to the other to the enemy from that position. Um, yeah, it's out of sight. Um, yeah, so it's going to slow them down to cross the stream. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, they're not going to get very far here. At best, we'll get. At best, I think I'll get the infantry to the front of the trees. Because then we'll have to deal with whatever tanks are already in position, right? That's height 10 already. Should actually block line of sight, but then he'll be visible when he moves through it. So yeah, this is tricky. I didn't. Yeah. Well. Um. Well, they're not really going to get that far. I mean, I can't see how they actually could potentially advance all the way across there. So I'm thinking advancing towards this side is probably makes more sense. But then that puts them really far away from the other platoon. I'm splitting them up again. I'm trying to keep them as close together as possible. Yeah, well, they're gonna have to split up when they have to maneuver into better. We'll do it this way, because otherwise they're on the height there, and then they have to move. They have to move through a high area, and they'll probably be spotted when they. Because this way I'll be able to move a little bit faster. Maybe, maybe. Yeah, so I'm not going to really be able to move very fast in the first couple of turns because, I mean, going to be visible to the other side, pretty darn quick. And let's face it, by turn two we'll have tanks out here. So, on the other end, if my infantry is out here, then that would actually dissuade him from putting the tanks too far forward. But that would just allow him to deploy artillery a lot more easily. I got to keep them spread out though. That's the thing. Not bunch them up too much. And taking this with infantry is gonna be difficult. Um, but we'll see how it works out. I don't know. Um, okay, so what else we got here? Okay, this group is actually not. Well, let's do this side first. Um, Actually, gonna move them further up. Yeah, I'm actually gonna keep them together this time. Doesn't really make any difference. I think. I need to get them closer to the front though, which could take time. So they may be able to move faster than anybody else, simply because they're not visible. But the infantry would be up front here. It's so difficult when you're up against when your opponent is so experienced. You just know nothing you do is gonna really give you any sort of an advantage. So we have height 10. We are moving infantry through. If I avoid moving through the slope, however, I mean, this this would be a good place to put the reserve. Possibly move them down to they could move down to here if necessary. Yeah, so let's just start them here. Because I mean they're moving through fairly rough terrain here, so it's gonna be tough for them to get anywhere really. Just want to make sure they can move in the first few turns without being seen. That's could be difficult. Well, they're going to be moving slowly anyway. There's no like they're not going to be moving quickly because of the terrain. So it might not matter. At most, they will be moving 2x's, I think, because we're looking at mixed terrain here. So, but the trees will add 1. So the most they can move is 2x's. No, they can move 3x's if 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 it came down to it. So actually, in that case, I might as well just deploy them a little further up. Height 10, height 10. Yeah, you might as well. You may as well deploy them up front. Actually, I mean, if these guys could be deployed in the open here because I think they're far enough back that they are not going to get seen. But let's not do that. Do need to check though, because the thing about being on a height is that the visibility could be more than you expect. Okay, that's fine because there's not going to be any units in there for at least a turn. So he should have moved forward by then. Um, he's fine. No line of sight. Yeah, let's put them forward so they can actually uh, advance as quickly as possible. Not too sure about this. I mean, I think I'm better off moving. I would like to try and move. Actually, I'm going to move these ones to the. I'm going to try to move as far towards the victory X's as possible. Simply because I don't have. I'm not going to try taking them with the tanks. Um, because I don't know what he might have in position. I mean, remember I'm player two, so I don't know what he might have in position um, to counter that. So yeah, it, it if I don't see him in the first turn, then um, I keep pushing with the infantry and see what happens. I mean, who cares? Uh, it looks like a crazy situation anyway at the moment. Okay, so now I was thinking of moving the scout this side, the but there's trees around that, so he's not gonna be able to see anything. Okay, so let's see if we can get these guys um, into a better position here. Hmm. Let's see. What about here? A bit exposed, maybe. I don't know. Um, okay, maybe around the edge of the hill. Um, I'm gonna do that, then I might as well put them on the slope, I think, to that side. Okay, they spread too far out. Trees are there, so that would block line of sight that way. We actually need something over here. Um, can't actually see over the trees, damn it. Maybe we don't need to. Oops. Let's put them on the height 10. I think that's probably makes more sense. They are pretty spread out, and it'll make it difficult for them to be rallied if circumstances go badly. I think actually on this side makes more sense. Hmm. $15 and 91 height 20. What are the chances of being seen during deployment? No. Okay, visibility is supposed to be 25. I don't know why we're not able to see past that. Really should be able to see past that. I don't get it. Which worries me because we, if I, if I got it wrong and I've deployed down in the open, because there's nothing in the way, right? There's nothing blocking line of sight. I mean, this year is hex 68, so 25 is about 20. Um, 43. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's about where I expect it to end. So we're far enough back that we can't be seen during his deployment. That's what matters. So it's gonna deploy them. Maybe one on this side. What is this? Okay, so this is also a heavy. I want to just deploy a really large squad there, though. If I put him down in the gully, that reduces the chance of him being seen. Don't want to put a large squad on top of on the height 20. They won't be moving, but you never know. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna put that one behind for now. Okay, that is. Where is the other? What the hell? One of these has got to be a regular Schützen. Ah, it is. Okay. Um, do, 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 do. On that side, I think you can see that way. I need to have. Um, His field of fire is not very good for a heavy machine gun. I like that better. Question is, can I get the other one close by? Yeah, now this is kind of crowded up here. I don't like that. So I think I'm gonna move these scouts up the side. I'm gonna move the sniper up to the side, I think. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Former observer, I think I'm gonna leave him here. He's got enough units around him that he's not gonna get into trouble. big blind spot behind there, but that's all right, I guess. What about further back? Might actually put him on his own. Does that help? No, not really. Actually, that's more restricted. The problem is this area here is cutting off line of sight. The cross there, which would be really helpful because it would allow deploying artillery very accurately. But I don't see a way to avoid that. Okay, that'll have to do, I guess. We may end up having to retreat pretty quickly on this side. He has pretty good line of sight that way. It's not obvious where his position will be, so there's a big arc, so it could be coming from a lot of different places. And as far he has good enough line of sight. There's unfortunately a field in here, which means that is cut off a little bit. That one is actually not too bad, so we got to watch out for guys coming in there. Now that means the scouts need to be spread out a bit. One here. So we have both sides of that covered. Probably move them down onto this. No, that's not going to help. Actually, I wonder if I can put them in here. That's not bad. You may need to retreat from there, though, fairly quickly. No, he's not going to be able to see anything from there, I think. Let's put him on that side and put the commander there. 5 slope. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. It's a bit risky, but I think we're okay. As long as we can't be seen from the deployment line. Nope, we're good. Okay, this is taking forever. I don't think I'll end up posting this to YouTube. Oh, geez, 2 hour videos. Well, why not? I mean, if somebody wants to watch them. I mean, the main reason I post them to YouTube is as a backup. If I'm honest, I mean that's the main reason for it. So I actually may move these scouts up. In which case, putting them there is probably not helpful. Like I may actually move these scouts forward to try and get an idea of what's coming. Risky though because there's nobody to protect them. So yeah, I mean it's not ideal. However, I mean just deploying them here is probably pretty good. Actually, no, I think not. I think deploying them for the back is probably better. Whoops. Okay, I just fucked everything up. Goes there. Goes there, I think. Like 5 slope. Yeah, well, those are the pickets for these ones. I mean, we have a forward observer up here who is just as good as spotting, but of course he's going to be quite a distance away. Risky. I'm not taking a big chance here, deploying those that far forward. I have no idea how to deploy the tanks. I think I'm just going to deploy. I think I'm just going to deploy them in this area here. They can come out this side, or they can move up through the trees to get help out on that side. They won't be able to move up through here to help there, but if tanks move through here, then at least we have something that can shoot at them. Sort of, hopefully, maybe. So we're gonna put these over here. And check line of sight. Yep, so they're hidden. That's the whole point. I don't know. I think I may have messed up again. It really doesn't make any sense that I have taken tanks. The scouts will be loaded onto the tanks right away. Should I or should I not? Yeah, let's load them up right away. Whoops. What? Okay, there's 2 of them on there. Whoops. Yeah, that's helpful. Load onto the tank. Load. No. No. Load onto the tank. Load onto the tank. Now, select that one. Load onto the tank. Everything works differently in deployment. Okay, so I think that is it. Well, we'll have to make do. I mean, that's just it. I think I'm this area. This middle area is very open, but so not much I can do. I think it's a bit too risky to deploy infantry here. I need to cover this side in case he tries to take this high ground. This is basically defensive deployment here. I think an optimist might think there's a chance of moving up here because actually there's quite a lot of cover or concealment to move through for infantry, but I doubt they could get very far. Yeah, so this infantry will try to move up as far as they can. They probably will have to retreat because of the armor. So now maybe considering possibly putting the tanks up here. Thing of it is, I mean, if the tanks move out to here, they still can't hit anything. like the enemy tanks would have to be like really close, and so that would be make it really quite tricky for them to get into position. Um, so, but if they move up on this side, then it's the same problem, right? So, I don't know. Um, it's difficult to move the tanks up um, without them being seen. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, in theory, I could actually deploy them like right there probably, because their line of sight will be they'll be completely hidden, um, which would allow them to move up very quickly. Um, Risky though. I mean, they could easily be surrounded, and there's no way for them to pull back easily. Well, I mean, if they pull back along here, along these X's here, they probably not going to be exposed too much. Yeah, there's no point in keeping them too far back. I mean, if I bought them, I might as well have them be destroyed in the first 2 turns. Yes, I'm a pessimist, but I also know I know my experience. I know that I'm not very good. That I'm not experienced enough to be using tanks. But I think I'm gonna need them at least as a way to keep the enemy tanks at bay, maybe. Um, the problem is I'm outnumbered, right? And that's the thing. Um, so I don't know. I mean, maybe better off like there. No, because now we're open on this side. Yeah. Let's just have a look. If they show up on this hill here, or if they show up on, yeah, on this is height 10. Let's say they can hit things over there. I don't really want to split them up too far apart, just to make sure I have 2 guns that can. I mean, I don't have enough tanks that yeah I could move them, or if I had 2 sections or 3 sections, I could, or a whole platoon, or a couple of platoons, or a whole company. I mean, you could have tanks all around, and they have the advantage of be able to fire at the enemy from different directions, which throws them off. So the possibility here is that I move. So if I separate them, then I mean that would be something like this, maybe, because if a tank med moves up here, probably can't really hit anything actually from that position. But I mean, but how does he get up there, right? That's quite a ways away. before he gets back into cover. Um, so I mean, because there's not enough trees there. Whereas this position, he can actually retreat back down there. Maybe. I'm still thinking this might be a good idea. Probably isn't. Probably isn't. It's like what if I move out of there? Line of sight is like that, and he can move back. But the other tank will move in the same position, so that's not really terribly helpful. And the thing is, moving along here, the slope probably exposes you to this side, so he can see you from there. He's gonna know where you are. Let's do it. Let's deploy them there and see how it plays out. It might be better to keep the tanks like active. I don't know. I just don't have enough experience with tanks, so it's hard to say what would be effective. And really, no matter what I come up with, I mean, again, my opponent is massively more experienced than I am, so why would he? Well, he wouldn't be caught out by anything I do. I think from this position they could probably retreat to back, to back here or something. The thing of it is they can't. There's no way for them to get into a position where they can't be seen. That's what my worry is. So I'm thinking back here is probably better because that allows them to retreat and actually gives me the opportunity of moving the tanks around the back here if necessary. I mean that would take a while. Might even be possible to move them across here. I don't know. It depends on what the enemy's done, like how where his tanks are, because there are definitely line of sight options here. So how far back can you go? Oops. How far back can you go before that line of sight becomes quite large? Actually, I mean that's not bad because you can actually move. So unless there's a tank right there or right there, but that's still a long range shot, right? I mean that is quite a good distance, so you might get away with it, maybe. I don't think so though. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go with the side here. We'll deploy them on behind the slope here, behind this hill. And we'll see how it works out. No. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. See how it works out. If they get destroyed in the first 2 turns, then maybe I can figure out why it was really bad, just to know. Because honestly, I don't know. I don't. I'm thinking trying to be safe here, but then maybe that's not the best option. I don't know. So I'm gonna go with that. Is anything I have not deployed? There's nothing left over here. These are actually deployed. Um, right, so just let me check again. Line of sight. Yeah. Okay, so these guys are a bit exposed. I don't know. Again, it's something I have deployed in the open like this before, but there was um, the line of sight was a bit more restricted. This is not. Um, so I don't know. Again, it can't be definitely can't be seen from there, but maybe, well, as long as there's no line of sight into that side, I guess we're okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. Finally, let's go back in there, make sure that is. Yeah, those will set to 1. Let's look around. I bunched them together because I think, well, I can't really do much here. The actually what I could do is just move these guys further forward. Um, yeah, move them further forward. Put them actually in the swamp. Um, that will allow me to move them, spread them out a bit, so they're not so bunched up. Yep, let's do it that way. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I think I'm going to move these ones further forward as well. Yeah, and I'm not going to split them up this time. So whatever, if that works, if whatever happens, happens. All right, I think I'm done. The sniper is here. And we have a heavy machine guns there. There's some defenders on this side to guard this high ground. We have heavy machine guns to help them out. We have some tanks in the middle, in the open ground. Only 2 tanks though, so I don't know what they're gonna do. Thinking now, it might have been able to get away with having an anti-tank guns deployed here, like two anti-tank gun sections on these hills. They might have been just as effective instead of going with a very expensive. Because then I wouldn't have to have the transport, right? I mean, the anti-tank guns are very cheap. In which case, I would have probably might have ended up with another infantry platoon. I don't know. I think I've misspent again. I honestly, I think I've misspent. I really shouldn't have bought the tanks. But here we are. That's what I got. I don't know. I keep getting sucked into buying tanks. I mean, an anti-tank gun section there and an anti-tank gun section there probably would have done just as good a job, I think. It'd be difficult. I mean, they would have a tricky line of sight. And actually, maybe deploying the anti-tank guns and then just moving them up 1 hex at a time to get to the edge of the trees would have been enough. See, I always think of these things after the fact. Well, I don't know why I don't think of them at the time that I think of them. Is that just inexperience, I guess? Anyway, so that is it. We're done. Quit deploy, and we're out. Okay, so that was for a long, long